Test.
Energize. All systems energize.
We are being probed.
All systems are.
We are being probed.
All systems.
We are being probed.
So be it. So be it.
We are being probed.
So be it.
We are being probed.
So be it.
I love that, John Delancey. Hey!
Yeah.
We are being probed.
Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Next Generation rewatch, recap, and re-experience podcast.
You had that re-experience is new.
I know.
It's a new experience
it's a good
here.
one. And so I'm Adam Ordall Quinnell. My voice sounds like this. I'm one of your hosts. I'm here with...
What's up, everybody? It's Al Hirt. This is what my voice sounds like.
This is what our voices sound like. And, oh, man, we're here for episode 143 of Trek in the Valley. And we've got a lot of stuff on our plate today. How have you been since last week's episode, Al?
I've been all right, yeah. Just doing the same old.
Same old shit. It's
passing.
Time passed so oddly. It feels like almost no time has passed since episode 142. Hey, remember when we discussed Skin of Evil and Armus was a dick?
Yeah, that was he was a big old dick.
Remember back in the day when we would do What Does Al Remember, and we would be talking about last week's episode, and if we recorded 2 episodes back to back, we would do What Does Al Remember about the episode that we just talked about.
Episodeception.
Yeah, but we're past that.
Yeah, now you got a new one for me though every time.
Yeah,
well,
and
relatively new. We've seen it.
I do love.
I don't know, man. I tend to remember the animated ones more. Granted, we saw them more recently, but still.
Yeah, so I do. I did love Armus, though. I'm still thinking about old Armus, man.
I'm thinking about Yar, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
I
dog.
mean, she dies in Act 1. That's like what's so fucked up, and they have to kind of put that on pause.
Yeah, people are saying it's like that's like an inverse climatic situation. You know, you're like, Yar died.
Right?
But where's Deanna?
Dude.
It's like, fuck Yar, I guess.
Absolutely.
We'll put her to the side in the holodeck for now.
She just gets whomped. And that's it. She gets whammied.
It's like, Beverly, you could put her in one of the coolers, right?
Right? And it just really feels like
We'll be right back.
They've saved people from less, you know?
Yeah, or like
really feels like they've saved people from less.
We've lost their... Remember when fucking Kirk goes in between dimensions?
Yeah, remember
and they have to line their dimensions back so Kirk cannot be a ghost in space?
Yeah,
I was like, geez.
Remember when Kirk and Spock became fishmen?
Yeah.
Remember when Kirk and Spock evolved?
Like, we gotta build tanks.
They evolved into fishmen? and then they had to do they had to go into an ancient city and build things.
Yeah,
what the shit, dude?
That was such a weird epised. Remember, they're like, we're gonna curse you, but you're gonna have gills, so you still can't leave, but you can't be here. It's like, well, fuck. The ocean's not that big on this planet, is it?
Well, but then at the end they're all kind of friends.
Yeah,
right?
they're like,
maybe you'll come up here,
bad.
Maybe we'll go down there, maybe we'll be up and around.
Right.
Yeah,
see, that one's a classic. I feel
good stuff, and I'm not going to ask you about that one. But I guess that brings us to our first segment of the week. What does Al remember?
The voices. Oh.
What do you remember about
drum roll
Star Trek, the animated series?
Okay.
Season 1, episode 4.
Okay.
The Lorelei Signal.
The Lorelei Signal. God damn it.
Did I stump you again 2 weeks in a row?
The Lorelei system.
Yeah. Okay. So
wait. Give me some little bit more.
Okay. So this is the Enterprise. Okay. So set in the 23rd century. So set in the 20. This is the synopsis for the episode on Wikipedia. It says set in the 23rd century. The series follows the adventures of Captain James T. Kirk. In this episode, Lieutenant Uhura, Nurse Chapel, and the Enterprise women
they have to
must
save the day,
take charge
right?
of the ship from incapacitated male
man.
senior officers.
This was the one where they're in the pot, right? And they're like, "Oh no, it's raining. We're gonna drown." It's like,
man.
why did they get in the pot? Why did they
They were
not get
hiding.
out? Right? No, of course. But I was just like, yeah, of course I remember that. But it's like the logic of like, okay, why'd they get in the pot? And then it was, we were psyched that all the female senior officers that came out were like, what the fuck are these people?
We've been here the whole time.
Yeah, right. Leader of security, leader of logistics, and then it was the engineering lady, and then it was a female doctor, and we're like, okay, we get it, it's great, but we need reoccurring people from this cast.
It reminds me of
it could just be the same woman, but still.
remember in Avengers Endgame?
Oh my gosh, I know the exact
Remember in
moment you're talking
Avengers
about.
Endgame when they helped Peter Parker?
Hashtag girls get it done. That's
when
what
they
it
girls
is.
get it done.
Let's go.
And
But hey,
then-
we still appreciate that.
Oh man, but Hillary couldn't get it done. I still remember. So now,
But yes, that's what the episode was about. Basically, it was kind of like a
But
what
why-
is it?
but hold on.
Odysseus situation where it's like they get
They get
mystified.
siren song.
Yeah, they get siren.
But you're missing an important thing. What happens to the men when they get siren songed?
They're like they get depleted. They get old.
They get old.
Right? They get their life sapped.
There you go. They
And
get their
I
life
guess it was
sapped. Ooh,
it was some gene, right? That was spreading in the air, some disease. But they don't
yeah.
really resolve
I
that.
don't know,
They're
some
like,
kind of fucking
we're gonna
disease,
leave you alone and only have women come. I don't remember. They were just like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
No, and that's right. Uhura was like, let them go. And they're like, no. And then she goes, I'm going to break this pot, bitch. And she breaks the pot. And they're like, oh, that was really priceless. We'll let them go. And then they do.
Yeah, well,
That's right. They couldn't get out because they were so old.
Mm-hmm.
They had the strength
They
to
had
get
to take
in,
their
but not
headbands.
out.
They had to take their headbands off so they stopped getting old.
And they're like, oh, these?
But they cannot find a retreatment to restore their original age. So Spock comes up with the
yeah.
idea of using their original transporter patterns from when they beam down, because the transporter is miracle science that can resurrect the dead whenever necessary.
And we kept joking. We were like, oh my God, you didn't save your last transporter before you got your haircut? We're like, my save's corrupt, dude.
Oh
I'm
man,
going to be at
my
least
save's
3
corrupt.
years younger.
I'm a Cenobite. I'm a Cenobite from Hellraiser. I got an arm coming out of my face. So one thing I want to mention about that is at the end, Uhura watches Tila destroy the device that they had been using to lure starships and vampires.
That's what it is.
These are basically vampire
She's
women.
like, bitch, I'm not playing.
And Uhura says, she says that a ship of women will return to bring them to a habitable world. And their bodies should return to normal in a few months. So yeah, they were addicted. Because they were in a state of static immortality. Once they get to a habitable planet, they will be able to eventually die. Which ultimately, I think that's what we all want.
I think that's what they wanted, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a Armis situation where he was like, I just want to go somewhere, man.
I
Not
want to
here."
go fuck shit up elsewhere. I'm
You're like,
Armis. I love Armis, dude. I wish Armis was in this next episode, too. There's a great joke in...
There's a lot of strange shit that happens in this episode, too.
There's a great joke in Lower Decks where they find a crystal that can communicate with with other planets. And they go, let's use it to prank call somebody. And she goes, let's prank call Armis. And it's just like Armis on his planet. And they're like, Armis, you suck. You're a big dumb suck. And he's just like, hey.
Yeah, right?
It's very, very funny.
Well, they're giving him his own medicine.
This episode that we're talking about this week, though.
Dude, they always got one of
hold
these.
on.
They gotta have a
That's what Al remembered.
They always got a what's it called? They got a short leave episode. They always have a short leave episode,
but
right?
this doesn't pan
I
out that way.
know.
So this is episode 143 of our podcast. This is an episode titled "We'll Always Have Paris."
Yes.
It's episode
Paris.
season 1, episode 24 of Star Trek: Next Generation. written by two rad ladies, Deborah Dean Davis and Hannah Louise Shearer, and directed by Bobby Becker.
Bobby Becker.
This aired exactly 7 days after Skin of Evil, when Tasha Yar was unceremoniously murdered by an oil slick.
They're like, whew, that was a lot of drama. We need to go on a vacation.
This is fucked up. Paramount Plus synopsis. Captain Picard is unexpectedly reunited with his first love in the midst of an investigation into lethal time warp experiments.
Yeah.
What?
Energize.
That's what I'm feeling. I'm energized about the potential of this story.
Yeah, this again takes place on the ship.
Lethal time warp experiments? My God.
Yeah, we got to have some mind-melting effects.
So they're on their way to Serona 7, and the entire crew is looking forward to some shore leave.
Yeah, and we see Picard fencing.
He's
there
fencing with some other fucking lieutenant of engineering guy.
Yeah.
He looks like, the brother from Garden State. The guy, I'm just like the guy from The Thing. The last couple episodes.
It's just exciting though, because you see Picard finally not with the senior staff. It's just him.
Yeah.
I mean, still senior lieutenant, but it's also like
he's Lieutenant Dean.
Yeah, it's also though a nice little break. But of course, it would be something intense and competitive too, like this.
And fencing, because he's French, English, French. He's a British Frenchman.
One of my friends used to fence in high school and stuff. I always thought that shit
seems
was
like it'd be cool. Seems like it'd be cool doing
like
a sword,
dancing and shit.
Yeah, Picard ends up getting the touche and scoring the point, and he's like, it was the last move of a desperate man. He goes, what technique was that? And he goes, the technique of a desperate man.
Uh-oh.
And then they go, technique of a what move was that? A technique of a desperate, what move was that? A technique of a desperate man. They have a weird time skip.
But I feel like you just said that, didn't you?
Yep. And
God damn it.
Picard calls the bridge and he goes, number one, did fucked up shit just happen up there too? And he's like, oh yeah, shit's totally fucked up.
Yeah, it was kind of like a weird deja vu thing.
We've had the deja vu.
But this isn't like one of those weird scenarios, Captain, where our dreams were, or our nightmares were coming to life.
Nah, this is just like we just relived the moment again. Yeah.
No one's mother showed up, Captain.
And this kicks off a very important element of this episode.
Yes.
Where they're saying, where Picard tasks Riker with finding out where this phenomenon has happened. So they're like expanding from the point of origin of it and searching outward to see how far it goes, and it just keeps on going. And
all right.
This is when they get and Picard is still in his gym clothes. I always love it when he has to go straight to the bridge. He's got like a towel around his neck and shit, and his fencing underclothes.
Yeah, but the color matches what he usually wears.
Yeah,
right?
It kind of looks like the towel is his shirt, his captain's shirt.
I don't see any collar though.
No. Yeah, right.
You see the pins, like one of them falls. He's like, oh, shit.
Oh, my communicator.
Oops.
So this is where they get a distress call from what I think we find out to be the center of
the conflict.
The center of the time, whatever happened.
The situation here.
And it's Dr. Paul Mannheim. And as soon as he hears Dr. Paul Mannheim, Picard pauses and he gets stares. It's an automated message. Distress call, basically, right? And Picard tells LaForge to lay in coordinates, and then Riker says, "You act as though the distress call and the time loop business are related." And he goes, "Well, that's because they are related. Dr. Mannheim was a time scientist, god damn it! What? And a time thing just happened, and then we get a time from time man time."
Yeah, and the way Picard just shoots up out of his chair, and he's like, "Geordi, put in those coordinates right now."
I think my ex-girlfriend is out there somewhere.
They're like, okay, sir.
I'm interested that I heard the name Dr. Paul Mannheim because I know that he's like a time wizard, not because he's the last person my ex-girlfriend was with.
Yeah, right.
And you can tell Picard is just freaking out. Like,
he's tapping his foot.
He's all like, ugh, and they're like, Data, lay it on us. What do you know about Dr. Mannheim? And he says he had intriguing ideas about the relationship between time and gravity. And then Picard says 15 years ago, Picard is doing this thing where he's like whipping his towel over his hand nervously, and he goes, 15 years ago, he put together a team of some of the sexiest fucking scientists that were the most understanding and lovely. Anyway, they left and then they disappeared. And he's like, I never had the pleasure of meeting him. And then he says, I must change. I'm out of here. And this is where Troy tries to do psychology to him.
Yeah, he
just doesn't like being counseled.
Yeah, she's like, hey, by the way, I mean, your strong emotions can cloud your judgment and all that. And he goes, fuck off. Thank you for your concern, I guess. And she's like, hey, it's my job. I'm the ship's counselor.
But he does kind of let the walls down a little bit. Yeah, he's like, all
right, what can I do?
And he does take her advice. She goes, look, you gotta confront these deep personal issues. I know it's not easy for you, but you gotta really sit and you gotta consider what is bothering me and put it in perspective. And he goes, thank you, I shall. And
he's like, okay, cool.
He goes and puts his foil away. And then he changes. He changes into his captain's uniform, and then he asks the computer, "How long till we get where we're going?" And the computer says 2 hours and 9 minutes. And he goes, perhaps I'll do some of this introspection that Troy was gassing on about. And so,
this program's super interesting. I feel like this is the beginning of an episode, just the way the scene's set up and all that.
Well, here's what's fucked up. So he says he tells the computer, I want to see Café d'Art in Paris as it appeared 22 years ago, April the 9th, 1500 hours, 3 p.m., warm spring day. And how would the computer know? I guess it just like guesses what it must have looked like, because it's not like there was video footage of that
for sure
coffee shop.
But it's also like Picard's like, this is the wrong cafe. I meant the one down this street in this intersection. And I was like, oh, okay, my bad.
I love it, dude.
And it's like, there's a lot of cafes. But hey, maybe, I don't know. It's like
this is Café d'Artiste.
Yeah, right.
That's the one. And he meets this holographic waiter who keeps trying to get him to order food.
How does anybody get anything done with this holodeck stuff? They
only give him a little bit of time
later, but still.
You only get to have a little bit of holodeck time, I think.
Right. They got to set a restriction on it.
And so this is where Picard is like bearing his soul kind of to this waiter. He goes like, hey,
I just asked for a drink if you needed a drink, sir.
He's like, I didn't ask you, Baldy, to spill your... Hey, Professor X, I didn't need your life fucking story. It's like, do you want some wine and cheese? And so basically he says, look, Picard says, many years ago, 22 years ago, I was to meet somebody here, right at that table over there, actually. And he goes, and she didn't turn up? And he goes, no, I don't know if she turned up. And he goes, oh, because you didn't turn up. And then Picard sits down at the table, and there's two French ladies who are having this conversation. And one of them leaves in frustration. And then Picard has this conversation with a hologram lady.
Yeah.
And eventually he goes, he's like, oh, so this guy stood you up, huh? And he goes, maybe he was afraid. And she was like, afraid of me? I'm like a lady. And he goes, perhaps if he's as young as you are, he's afraid of what you represent, being tied down. And then he goes, you know what? Enough. Now that he goes, enough of the self-indulgence. I have important captaining to do.
He's just like literally going back in time and just, explaining his actions to, those embarrassing moments, man, that you always have in your head. He's like, hey, pull up this embarrassing moment number 7.
Well, that's what she said to do.
Explaining, his situation. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she did say confront your deep fears,
and
confront your shit.
And it's cool that he's like, I'm going to use the holodeck to do this.
Yeah,
but
I have some embarrassing moments in high school.
I would not want to relive any of that in the holodeck.
Just so you could be like, fuck you. But it would feel weird because it's like Picard in this sense, he doesn't even, put the holodeck skin of him as being young. He's just like some creepy old guy that's like, hey,
it's different.
You got stood up.
Oh, dude, ladies love him. It's different if you think about it, like if you were in the embarrassing moment in high school, you're reminded of it because you get a distress call from like the person who pulled your pants down. It's like
I know that last name. Fuck.
So
there's only so many people with that last name.
It's fucked up because he's just about to make a breakthrough and he says, enough of this self-indulgence.
Yeah,
you almost figured it out, dude.
He's like, this is weird though.
They do a very dramatic follow of him walking onto the bridge. Like the camera follows him onto the bridge. they find out that the time anomalies are going way far out, as far as hundreds of fucking light years now, right?
Yeah.
And then Data makes a joke about Riker says it's like a burp, and he goes, actually, I think it would be more like a fart, and he's just about to say fart when Picard says, enough, Data. And so Data is learning about the Mannheim Project. There's no specifics that are going to help him. They get to the area of
Worf
the coordinates.
Receives, new coordinates, and then
that's right.
They divert and do it more
Because
and
it's
Riker's like, what the hell? Why is he making it difficult to find him? You know,
smart. That's what I was gonna point out, that they're kind of on like a breadcrumb trail to find this guy, right?
And yeah, they're like, I guess we'll find out.
Riker says, I wonder why he's making it so hard for us to find him. And Picard is like, well, hopefully he'll fucking tell us, dude. I mean, that's the whole point of this shit.
Yeah, maybe we'll catch him if we do some maths.
So
then they get to there.
What do they find when they get to the coordinates, Al?
It's a ship, but there's like, what is it? They go to some big planet, right? It looks like I don't know, some moon?
It's
comet?
a binary star system.
A binary star system.
Because the gravity between binary stars is so fucking intense. So it's a good
it's like a
area.
river, like a stream.
Yeah, it's like if you're studying hydroelectric power, you'd want to go to a place where there's a roaring river, right? And that's basically what's going on here. And so then they get there and they communicate.
It's like a shuttle situation like last week.
But it's not a shuttle. They're on the planet.
They're on a planet, yeah.
So they have a force field tent. Like that's basically protecting them for now.
Oh yeah.
And then the Picard reaches out and she says we're in orbit around. Wait, hold on here.
It's giving a help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Oh yeah, so he says we're in orbit around Vandor now, and she says then you can help me. I don't know what to do. And Picard does this thing where he says, this is the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, right.
Because it's clearly his ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah. He doesn't want to embarrass himself.
And so he basically says, look, you got to turn off the force field and then we'll beam you up. And he goes, all right, so beam them directly to sickbay, which is where I'll be. And he rushes to sickbay.
Yeah.
And so we get this lady in a white shirt dress thing with like little peekaboo sides.
Yeah, but like it's like a tank top, but then she has sleeves on, like full sleeves.
She obviously has a thing for old dudes because Dr. Mannheim, who is incapacitated, is like an old guy, right?
Yeah, there's just a body in the background, right, as this lady turns, and it's just like
wow.
And Riker and Data are like, what's going on?
And she goes, I thought that voice sounded familiar, Jean-Luc. And they're like, you know her? What the hell? And he's
first
like,
name basis.
He's like, this is Commander Riker, and this is Data, and this is Janice Mannheim. Oh, interesting. She's married to Dr. Mannheim. And so this is where he's like, all right, tell us what happened. And so basically there was 2 laboratories where they were doing these experiments.
Okay.
One of the laboratories exploded and fucking killed everybody and kicked off this shit that's all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then the other laboratory took the shockwave, and that's when Dr. Mannheim was all fucked up as well.
It was over 3 rotogens, as they say.
Yeah, over 3 rotogens, yes. And so basically...
But it's time shooting out into space.
And that's what they're basically, they were trying to open a window into other dimensions by using time and gravity, right?
Nothing great comes from opening portals to other dimensions. In my
right?
opinion.
It reminds my
there should
mind
be an
immediately
easy off switch or something, or a dead switch.
My mind immediately goes to Doom. Like whenever people talk about other dimensions,
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, the hell portal on Mars, of course. And this is when Riker goes, huh. Well, that explains what we've been experiencing. And she goes, wait, have you been experiencing weird time skips? And they're like, yeah, it's what is emanating here is having repercussions hundreds of light years away, maybe even farther. And she goes, oh man, that would explain his anxiety. It's like he's connected.
God.
He's connected to the time stream or something.
Yeah, right.
So basically, it's the dense pulsar of the binary star. That's where they wanted to study, And basically, she went here with him to help him prove his theories. And the whole arc of this episode is Picard is like, he kind of feels like, oh, he missed out on something with her. And then he's also like, she feels like a kept woman, kind of like she's like trapped on this planet doing these experiments with this guy. But it turns out, but it turns out that's not the case
because she just loves this shit.
So basically, Picard is like, did he anticipate these experiments would be dangerous? And she says, I didn't think so. Oh, you didn't think that fucking with time and gravity? She goes, in retrospect, he probably did.
Yeah, we're talking about opening doors to other dimensions and like using space and time to bend it even more that it's already fucked. Especially with these, like, what is it, strong gravity pulls and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking, though, wouldn't it be a funny bit with the time dilation or the time skipping if, like, somebody really far away was, like, playing a game of horse and they made it, and then the next time they just didn't make it, and it's like, no, I definitely made that shot.
Yeah,
like, no, you didn't make it this time.
No, I made
but
it.
It was like, but I did it last time. But it's like, wait, what do you mean last time?
Oh, that's actually kind of like
it's like, what the hell? Who's on first base? Kind of vibes.
There's the Futurama episode "Time Keeps Slipping" where they are playing the Harlem Globetrotters are playing the Professor's Mutant Supermen, and time keeps skipping forward. So basically, she says whenever he was going to start an experiment, he would always put me in like a special force field room. It's like, oh, so maybe he thought it was dangerous, and he goes, that's why you weren't affected.
That's a kind of a red flag.
She says he'd never do anything on purpose to hurt me, but he did become more obsessive.
Yeah, he kind of little possessive, you know, little Moby Dick vibes.
Judgment. I'm chasing the time hole to another dimension. It's my white whale.
Yeah, right. Quiet, I'll put you in the force field this time.
Yeah, and so
it's like, that's weird.
They basically lock down the lab because Picard is like, we got to go down to the lab and study it and figure out what's going on. She says, no, one of the other scientists locked it down before the accident, killed everybody.
Like, okay.
And she doesn't know what's going Crusher does not know what's going on.
Yeah, she comes in the room and she's like, hey, look, he's recovering, but we got to leave him alone. And he goes, or Crusher goes, in fact, ma'am, I kind of want you to take some physicals because what the hell happened? And she's like, no, fuck that. Let me go check on my husband.
She says, okay.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Oh,
she just goes to sickbay to do tests.
She just runs
Crusher.
right away.
I mean, they're good. No, that's okay. They're heading down to sickbay, Crusher, and so then the boys, Data, Riker, and Picard get into a turbo lift, and they're discussing Mannheim's vague theories put into practical action, and they gotta try and get the questions from the horse's mouth, but he's crazy with wait, what?
Jeez.
Then the turbo lift door opens, and there's Riker, Picard, and Data in a time loop having a discussion from earlier. They all see each other. The turbo lift closes, and now we're on the outside of the turbo lift at the beginning of the time loop. Wow.
Yeah. And it is like, oh, wow, this is
shit's getting
interesting.
worse.
And Riker's like, what's going on, Data? And Data's like, this is the time loop, you know? I mean, I guess we've already seen our other self, so this is the moment when I guess it started.
Yep. And Riker says, we're no closer to understanding this. We've got to go down there. We're going to have to check stuff out on the ground. What about Dr. Mannheim's defense systems? And she said, well, we're going to talk to him, and she explained his defense systems as best as he could so that they can go down there. She lowered the force field, so maybe that's enough. But of course, they try to beam into his lab, but they're not able to. And then they end up on the transporter pad, but it takes an extra long time for Worf to beam back. And but then he eventually does.
Yeah, it's like a little suspension of belief.
And then the guy goes, and Riker says, what are we doing back on this pad? We're supposed to be in the lab. And the transporter chief is like, dude, you're lucky to be back at all, bro.
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
you were atomized a second ago, man. Like, do you realize how fucking... And then in sickbay, boom, Dr. Mannheim's eyes open up. And he's like, where am I? And they answered the distress signal, and she's explaining to him what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And Dr. Mannheim is immediately talking about how it was all worth it. He's been to the other side. He's touched another dimension. His mind was floating between two places. He was clearly not just on drugs. Like, he definitely didn't just accidentally take drugs, right? Mm-hmm. And so basically, he says that your experiments fucked shit up for hundreds of light years. How do we stop it? And then he goes, look, this is Lieutenant Commander Data. He's an android that's fully versed in our theories regarding time and gravity. And he goes, an android on a Starfleet vessel. I'm the only one.
Yeah.
He goes, your knowledge is useless because the work we've done here has made most of those theories obsolete. We learned to enhance the time hole. Focus
What
it.
the hell?
A window into another dimension. Another
Just like-
dimension. Another dimension. Another dimension.
Ooh. That's good
And
reference.
this is where he finds out that it's oh shit. So it's not just confined to the planet. The time skips, and Data's
Yeah,
like, no,
Data's
several
like-
thousand light years, bro.
There's people doing things all over again, and it's going to keep going. And it turns into like, I mean, we're a Sam Raimi Spider-Man situation where, you know, the scientist is like, we must shut down the machine. It's for the good of everybody. I've gone too
Dr.
far.
Octopus, yeah.
Right. It's Dr. Octopus with the sun.
Well, it's funny because this guy just ends up going right back there to do
Oh,
more
for sure.
experiments too.
He learns no fucking consequences. He's just like,
But
bet.
this is where we get the second half of the episode's goal, which is we're going to do a
Yeah.
controlled shutdown of this experiment, or else all of time in this dimension is going to be absolutely freaked out. And then
and this
Picard
just isn't
asks,
natural.
right?
You're just like, everyone's going to always be on edge. That shit's going to skip forward, right?
Oh, dude. And then it gets
Imagine being in
worse and
traffic
worse. And
or
then
driving.
it's just... Or
Flying.
yeah, you're
You
chopping
crash
onions.
somewhere.
You know,
and
you're
like,
cooking something,
we're
and
gonna
then
chop
you're
this again.
it's still cooking these onions. It
Yeah,
takes a
right?
long time to caramelize onions.
God,
but come on.
why did the loop have to happen now?
And so this is where the doctor, Picard asks the doctor to give them the ins and outs of the security system, right? And he's like, sure, I can help you with that, but my brain is kind of fucked up by my dimensional hole that I opened. So, I might forget some stuff, right? And so basically they decide that they're going to beam down to Vandor, and they're going to go with whatever information they got from the doctor and hope that there's not any secret lasers that he didn't tell them about, but there totally is. And this is when Picard has his unfinished business discussion with Janice Mannheim. So that's her name, right? Now, this actress
Yes.
is Michelle Phillips, and she looks familiar because she
Oh, okay.
is... Let's
Where?
see. She was in...
Knots
she was
Landing.
in... Oh, wait. She's a singer.
89 episodes.
Yeah, and she was on Knots Landing. She has not been in anything since 2009 because
She was in Seventh Heaven?
I believe she's dead. Let's
I don't
see
know.
here.
Oh,
Where is it?
2017.
2017, she passed away. I thought she was
Rip.
in more stuff that I would have recognized. But at any rate, they have Picard is like, I can't. She basically says, hey, you didn't show up, man. What the fuck? And he goes,
Yeah.
I was afraid I couldn't face you. And she goes, hey, whoa. Why don't you lie to me, man? Like, just give me a nice little lie. And he goes, I could say that I got the days mixed up. I thought it was Tuesday when it was Wednesday. And they have this
man.
very like in a Paul Simon play. You know, he's like, maybe I got it wrong. And this is where Patrick Stewart really busts out his acting chops, you know, because Picard or Kirk couldn't really have those moments, like those quiet moments, those contemplative moments like Picard can, you know?
For sure. No.
Because he's got
Picard-
that stage actor gravitas.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Kirk's always good when he's hamming it up and stuff and like doing exaggerated things rather than doing like quiet, sensible things, I feel. He
Right?
just has a louder presence. Whereas Picard's like, no, let's just sit and think. Let's negotiate rather than fight or do actions right away. And it's kind of funny though. It's giving Nathan For You the rehearsal kind of vibes where it's like he kind of practiced a scenario in his head, you know?
Yeah.
And confronted it, and now he's like redoing it, but trying to say the right things. But he's still getting surprised too. It's like that moment, like you said, those moments of hesitation instead of just like going right into those conversations.
Well, and he said,
it's clever.
And then she says, well, okay, fine. Lay it on me. Tell me the truth. What happened? And he says it was fear. Fear of... he says it was fear.
It's an
fear
honest,
of all kinds of shit.
It's
you
an
know?
honest Henny. It's
Fear
an
of
honest,
seeing you. Fear of losing my resolve.
Right. It's it's
fear
like,
of staying.
It's an honest, like, healthy
Yeah.
conversation,
Yeah,
between two adults, and they're just
Well-
like, hey, I mean, I was just kind of being an asshole, and
It's also
this is
22
why.
years later too, so
Oh, for
they've both
sure.
had so much living and so many time holes.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
have happened.
So much
Um,
shit has probably happened in between now and then that it's like, kind of, hey, it's whatever. I've kind of had
Basically,
those.
he was paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong decision,
Or
right?
just commitment too.
And there's a lot of poetic language between them. She's like, not a day goes by when I look up at the sky and wonder. And he was like, look.
He always puts his hand in his mouth like that whenever
Each
he's
time.
like tense.
Yeah, he touches his mouth. Each time I returned to Earth, my thoughts were filled with you. And so basically she says the real reason you left was because that life with me would have made you ordinary. And he was like, no. He's like, actually, I
There's
think you
children
might
on the
have
ship.
You might have fucked that up. I don't think it would have been ordinary. What a great bit from Patrick Stewart. He goes this shot where he goes from like listening to her to laughing to absorbing it, and he says, "Huh, you are wonderful. Am I that transparent?" Like
Yeah.
she got him.
It's
She's
this
like,
weird, like-
he's like, "Wow, you got my ass."
It's this weird, like, James Dean Elvis vibes too, where it's like, you got me, lady.
Well, but also
And it's like,
just the fact that she says,
vulnerable.
you would have been ordinary.
And he's like, fuck.
yeah, man, I want to be extraordinary.
Yeah, of
And he
course.
doesn't like admitting that because he's supposed to be so level-headed, but she
Well,
got his ass.
And we've seen as the audience his opportunities before to just have a regular life when the Admiral's like, I want you to be a coach. I want you to be a trainer for the academy. And Picard's like, I like space way too fucking much, dude.
yeah.
Imagine these adventures being way more interesting than classes, It's like,
dude,
that's
for
not
sure.
why I went through all this hell.
For sure.
I want to be flying out there with my crew.
Then
Fucking Riker took down denied a promotion too, just so he can be fucking in the Enterprise.
just so he could serve under
Was it
Picard.
Geordi was like, why did you reject the fucking captain seat?
He's like, I thought I could learn a little bit from serving on the old Enterprise. And he like
They're
winked
like,
at Picard, like, you know how we kiss.
Yeah, Picard's like, what?
So then we go back to sickbay, and Crusher is doing some scans on the old Dr. Mannheim steamroller, and then Troy walks in and she says, hey, yeah, I just thought I might check on him, and she goes, and Crusher says, that's not the real reason you're here. And Troy says, I thought I was the empath. But basically, Troy is basically saying, how are you doing with the fact that Picard's ex is on the ship?
Oh.
And she's like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, she's like, I'm still a fucking doctor. Like,
She goes, I've got one of the medical wonders of the galaxy dying in my sick bay.
yeah, it's like not a lot of pressure. Not like the pressure's already laid on enough. Fucking Yar died last week.
Right?
It's like, give me some fucking space.
And then Crusher says, I can't compete with a ghost from his past. No one could. And she goes, she's not a ghost. She's here right now. And also, are they competing? Like,
yeah, why is she
is
doing
Crusher
this?
does she,
This
are
is-
her and
yeah.
Picard a thing? They've really
This is-
tiptoed around
yeah,
that
this
all
was
season,
frustrating.
But so they don't really resolve that. And Data's found a way to calculate the next time distortion.
So they're
and
like,
they
okay,
need to
we
be
need to-
shutting down the thing right when the time
Yeah.
distortion happens.
So it's kind of like what is it called? A running clock, right?
A ticking clock.
A ticking clock, excuse me.
And
Literal
then-
ticking clock, they set that up.
Dr. Mannheim, who looks a lot like this character actor Garrett Dillahunt from a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. It's so funny. He looks a lot like him in this shot. But he's basically calls Picard in and he's like, the experiment, it's going to be fine. You're going to turn it off. What I really want to talk to you about is Janice.
And he's like, what?
I want you to make sure if anything should go wrong, please take care of her for me. And Picard is like, oh yeah, of course, I'll take care of her. And this is where he goes, oh man, she's had a terrible last few years of it. We're so isolated. And she was always like, I want to go somewhere else. And I was like, shut up. I'm doing my time experiments.
Yeah. And I put her in the force field and I kind of didn't deserve her. And also, no, but before all this, right? He asks her, Picard, about his wife, and Picard's like, why are you bringing her up? Like, why would I even talk about that when we're talking about your health? And he goes, just in case shit goes south, it's on you, dog.
Yeah, and he says, I'll take care of her.
Yeah, and Picard's like, okay.
Yep.
And so then we get back caught up to the mission, and Data's like, look, we can use this time jump to our advantage. And due to the high risk, we go to the logical conclusion that Adam's always been raving about.
Data should be the only.
Yeah.
He's going to be the only away team, an away team of one.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sorry, we can just print another one of you if I should be honest.
No, they can't. But
I thought they could.
Well, no, because
he's like a one of one.
His
he's
science
super rare.
is beyond. Yeah, his science is beyond their shit. Remember, Lore was the closest thing they had, and he was a huge fucking problem.
You're right. I didn't realize.
So he says, basically, Data, you're more likely to be able to control the time distortion because
your feet are stronger. Just kidding.
Exactly.
Right? You can stay in place.
Yep. You'll notice that in all the time distortions, Data's the one that noticed the shit that was going on first. And then Data says, right, because you're humans. So you experience time like emotionally, and I experience time linearly. So like humans say time flies when you're having fun. But to me, even if I was having fun, time would still be time.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really experience time in that way. I experience time in a logical, mathematical way.
And then Picard
says,
a Spock. Picard says, okay, so I see you're doing metaphors. Well, I want you to put a stitch in time and save more than just 9. And Data's like, I don't get what you're talking about. He's like, if other members of the away team became disoriented, it could create additional problems. So you need to go fix it. And he does.
Yeah,
he beams down.
Immediately, though, we're trying to figure out that, as soon as he beams down, a lot of the tension's just kind of not dissipated, but kind of rising because they always Picard's always worried about Data, and he's like, keep it over frequency for Christ's sake, like you need to keep talking to me. And then we hear the security system go off.
Yeah, so there's something that the doctor forgot to tell them about a set of lasers. We see a very bad Data stunt double jump over a box. Like he's a good stunt double, but he doesn't look anything like Brent Spiner.
Yeah.
And so Data's got to shoot these laser beams and roll around a lot.
We just see the bridge, and everybody's just like looking at each other like, whoa, what the fuck is going on?
We're hearing phaser sounds, and Data's like,
I'm all right.
The doctor must have forgotten this one. So Data walks up to this door that looks like a bunch of fluorescent lights, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Those are fluorescent lights, and then he pushes some buttons and they open. He walks through cautiously, and that's when he sees the time crystal thing.
Yeah, and it just looks like something out of Doctor Strange, when something's what is it called? Kaleidoscoping.
Yeah, it is kaleidoscoping, man.
Yeah, we got different sheets of the same image, just relayed over each other, and it's kind of an interesting like wallpaper background effect, where it's layering over each other like a flower, like petals on a leaf or on a flower.
Oh, this Data sequence is so great too. So Data's melting. So Data's like looking around. He's trying to figure out how we're going to stop this shit. And then he pulls up some antimatter. And how they're going to shut down the experiment is when the effect hits, the force field will align, opening a clean, straight path to the other dimension. And he's going to be able to drop antimatter in at the appropriate moment to reverse the time distortion. And he's like, Geordi, if the professor is right, I will need a 27-second countdown. Exactly 27 seconds. And Data's got a great little reacher grabber arm that he picks up the antimatter chamber with. I fucking love it.
Right. Maybe his hands will melt, you never know.
Right.
It's actually a reference to like Sonic and the Hedgehog and all this. It's giving, when Shadow gives the Chaos Emerald, is doing a chaos control. And he's time stopping and then controlling chaos by like dropping the crystal or the emerald in.
I bet that's where they got this. That's where
right?
no, that's Sonic.
All
That's where Sonic got it from fucking the Star Trek.
It just time manipulation is always so fun, but the way they show this in the show is like just as easily successful and amazing special effects wise as like one of the movies, right?
Yeah, this
effect is nuts.
This is a great sequence where Data is the time distortion happens. Data puts the antimatter into the mirror chamber when it opens up, and LaForge starts his countdown, and then Data splits into 3 Datas, and they're all like looking at each other, and there's one that just takes the antimatter out, there's one that's in the middle on his way to the antimatter mirror thing, and then there's one that's already at the mirror thing. And I don't know, and they say there appear to be 3 of us, and they're just yelling at each other, and the first one is like, should I drop the antimatter? And the third one's like, no, it's gotta be at the right second. And then I don't know how the one in the middle realizes that he's the correct one, but the one in the middle goes, it's me. And then they all sync up. They put the antimatter in as LaForge counts down 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Now. And there you go. The antimatter chamber is empty. The mirror is destroyed.
Yeah, there is
that
no
shit's
mirror.
fucking gone. That wasn't a mirror, I guess. That was the portal looking into the other dimension. And he closed it. He can't guarantee that it's closed permanently.
Picard, this part's pretty good. Picard's like, Data, what's going on down there? And Data's like, it seems that the time dilation is patched, sir.
But not closed permanently.
And he's like, but not closed. Patch is a kind of a meaning of not being closed permanently and just sewn up, sort of.
And Picard's goes,
like,
well, patched is good enough for me, baby. Let's go.
That sounds great. I feel fine.
And then it cuts to sickbay, where Crusher is giving Mannheim a cleanish bill of health.
Yeah, Mannheim looks completely different.
And then
spruced up.
Janice pops in out of nowhere. You didn't even know she was in sickbay at the time. And then Picard basically watches their reunion from a distance.
And he's like, fuck.
And then he says, all right, so I've got to get... And Mannheim goes, so anyway, I've got to go back down and do more experiments.
Yeah, and he's like, I mean, when I was injured, I was tripping so hard when I knocked out.
But now I know, man. Now I figured it out. I was in the other dimension. I touched the spirit world. I can find a way back. I promise. We can go back to the island on Lost. And so basically, he says, we've learned so much. We've learned too much to walk away. And he says, besides, we owe it to the others, to our friends.
Yeah,
there have been so many sacrifices.
Ooh.
And she says, I'll follow you wherever.
You don't want to leave behind those dead people, right? Like all those people that died for this experiment.
And he says...
Oh, God, that's a great frame that you froze it on.
Right, when he's saying, I promise it's going to be different. And Picard says, the Federation will help you. And she says, I love you as always, my love. Of course I'll support you and be with you in your crazy experiments.
Oh, okay.
And then we cut to outside the holodeck, and Deanna Troi says, Captain's waiting for you inside. And there it is, the cafe. And she's like, oh my God, this is really fucking with me, man. It's perfect. It's exactly what it was like when I was here without you 22 fucking years ago, you bald piece of shit.
He's like, I owe you a drink. I just wanted to say goodbye properly this time. And it's like, ooh, he still got it.
And so they pour some synthahol. They
He's
share
like, why don't we just get out
of
of here and party in Paris, huh?
Yep.
The holodeck can keep making this shit.
Yeah, she says, promise me you'll always come to my rescue. And he says, I'll do my best. It's like, dude, don't be the best friend that always comes running. Not there's anything wrong with that. I don't believe in friend zoning. Picard could do whatever he wants.
They both could.
And she says, thank you for Paris. And he doesn't say we'll always have Paris, but it's implied, I think, that that's the title that happens next.
Well, it's just like, we'll always have that memory.
And then Picard is standing alone on the holodeck. It cuts to a shot of the planetoid with it's not a binary star system. It's a collapsing pulsar. I was wrong.
Okay.
And then Picard walks onto the bridge and says, Riker, is anything wrong? And he says, no. And he says, to Sereno 7, as I recall, we were on our way for some much needed shore leave. And they go, there we go, course plotted and laid
Yeah,
in.
he's like, I've already plotted it in, sir. I'm ready to go.
And Riker says, oh man, I want to try one of those blue concoctions. I can't remember what they're called. And then Troy says, it's right across the street from Danza's Men's Palace.
They're like,
and they're
"Whoa,
like, oh, you've watched some dong slinging, eh? And then Picard says, it's called the Blue Parrot Cafe, and you're buying.
Hey.
And they're all laughing. I like how when he comes back onto the bridge, Riker's like, so how did things go with your ex-lady on the holodeck, man? And he's like, everything's fine. Leave me alone.
Yeah, he's like, let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get to shore leave. And that, my friends, is We'll Always Have Paris. Al, what did you think?
This was a nice little combination of, like, you know, character drama and then hard-hitting sci-fi. And it had that classic dilemma of, like, the scientist that's always doing too much. But in this case, you know, the main scientist never really learned his lesson and he just wanted to keep going. It's kind of giving the Moby Dick and the whale kind of situation. I don't know. I haven't read The Time Machine in a long time, but I feel like something like that would happen to the scientist too, where it's like, once you fuck with time, you just want to keep going, and opening portals, the other dimensions, just bad news. I liked how Picard is... They're showing Picard and trying to humanize him more. And especially since we've seen the crew for a while. This is season 1 stuff, right? It's like, now that we're going into 2, 3, 4, 5, there's going to be more character stuff.
Yeah.
So I like how they combine, instead of like plot A and plot B like we're used to in the Enterprise or Star Trek, those the original series. This is more like the A plot's like Picard's emotions and his ex, and the B plot's like, oh shit, by the way, time's dilating. This is affecting everyone. And it's really funny how, like, the scientist is like, oh, it's affecting everyone. I made a breakthrough, but I'm really sick and I can die. Please help me figure it out.
Right?
And they're like, okay. And it is funny, too, that we just applied that. They finally applied the logic that you're always, you know, presenting of, like, just send data everywhere.
You gotta
What's
just make
going
data
on?
go down. Just have data go see
send
what.
data first. And have them take Geordi's visors.
Yeah, and have why don't you just put Geordi's visor in Data's eyes
And Data
so that
would
he
be like,
can?
this is amazing.
I wonder if Data can see all the same spectrums that Geordi can see. Well,
yeah, he's like, this is kind of double sight. I don't know. I'm getting dizzy, sir. That'd be funny, a robot getting dizzy.
I agree that it was a good combination of like character-driven storytelling with Picard having this conflict and also the hard sci-fi of the time skips. We get a mad scientist with the Doctor Mannheim. We get some lovey-dovey romance stuff. Yet another holodeck. Yeah, no.
And the holodeck, yes. God.
I liked it, but not as much, obviously, as the Armus episode.
I see. I like this one a little more.
Okay, so what do you give this?
How many time dilations?
How many time dilation events do you give this?
I would do... I'd probably do it a 3 out of 5. Not that it's like, wow, this is amazing, but this is like, okay, there's a lot of funny, eventful things that happen on camera that we might not see for a while.
Data makes a fart joke analogy. Yeah. The time flies when we're having fun thing.
And the Picard fighting and fencing and stuff.
Yeah, the fencing.
Just kind of seeming more loose than usual. I guess my only criticism too is like Deanna Troi is kind of up in everybody's business. I get that it's her job. She probably feels it. It's like maybe she needs to talk to someone. Oh, that's right. I'm reading her mind. Like, I know that she needs to talk to someone, you know?
I mean, I like that about it. I like that Deanna Troi is like, I like when they do their roles. Like, we had some good Deanna Troi stuff in the Armus episode as well.
There's no need for Riker other than being like, oh, shit.
I mean,
this time's crazy, yo.
I give it a 3 as well because it had elements of good sci-fi, good Star Trek character stuff. But what I think they didn't do enough of is the time dilation shit. They only show it a couple of times, and then they've got like
twice, and they're like, "Oh, the next one's in a half hour."
Yeah, they only showed it a couple of times. They should have showed like the time dilations happening around the. You know, they have to keep the sets cheap or whatever, but they should have showed the time dilations fucking with other people around the ship.
I just thought of a funny bit. It's kind of nasty, but it's also like you're in the bathroom and you just took a shit, and then the time dilates. And you're like, oh,
you
what the actual
again.
fuck?
Oh, man. And then you watch yourself shitting. It's horrible.
Like, oh.
No good. So I give it a 3. You give it a 3. We agree.
About, like putt-putt, and you like make your shot and then you miss it.
Or disc
God,
golf.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. Or you
beat a really hard boss in the game and then you're like, fuck, I got to do it again.
Well, yeah, but you would beat it again.
Twice, right? Yeah. And then you're like, man, I don't know.
Because they don't really change the outcomes.
Yeah, right. It doesn't feel that weird.
Yeah, I think that
it would be funny if it changed the outcome, but still.
It feels like it was kind of an episode of half measures. They don't
Yeah,
quite go far
literally.
enough. Yeah, they don't quite go far enough with the ideas.
This isn't on the scale of like, Wesley crushing a fence to all the way to him putting himself to death.
Yeah,
it's not that intense.
Offering himself up on the pyre. But yeah, so that's our discussion of We'll Always Have Paris.
Oh yes.
And next week we will be back to discuss episode Conspiracy, which is a oft maligned episode with a lot of baggage that I'm really looking forward to talking about. Al, we've got time for one more segment. Also, good job recording 2 episodes, man.
Yeah, back to back.
Worked out, and we've got time for one last segment at the end of this doubleheader. Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam and Al are recommending things.
All right, I'm actually back to doing that 1,000 albums thing.
Oh yeah.
And I was just going through the list, and I was like, "Damn, there's so much shit to catch up on." Because sometimes, like, what it does, this website, 1,000 albums in a year or something like that, it recommends you an album from this book that's saying these are the best 1,000 albums of music or whatever. But it's big hits and stuff. So I actually got recommended this album, Duran Duran, Rio.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Jesus Christ,
yeah, it's a classic.
Dude. But it's like waves on waves on waves on waves on wave synth. And it's like you hear, now that I've heard other musicians take these influences, it's like amazing to hear that they're like still releasing albums, Duran Duran and all that. And it's just as strong. And it's like you hear all these cool synthesizers and stuff. And it all really, for me, it all came together in Hungry Like the Wolf, right? And then pretty ballsy to start the album with Rio too, and it's just like a lot of high points, but then you kind of see them dance with like this 80s wave and this like, I don't know, it just, have you ever like had that experience where the album cover perfectly captures what the noise is and what you're in for?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that's exactly what I was feeling when I was listening to this record, and it's honestly one that I just want on vinyl too. And yeah, I was gonna say Rio is like a quintessential 80s vibe. You're never not gonna get that vibe. But I also like the song New Religion and Last Chance on the Stairway. So it's a very, I always say it's a very fit soundtrack for when you're like hustling and bustling through a city, or like trying to get a bunch of different shit done and running errands, like going here and there from downtown to downtown spot. And it's pretty dope. There's also a cool riff too in the song Save a Prayer at the very beginning. I'll have to show it to you after the podcast, but it's like a timeless riff. There's been like that same riff being used in a bunch of different electronic songs, and it's like kind of cool how you hear these sounds come up again and again and again, and this is like a group that has taken those noises and it's just fucking knocked it out of the park. It's like you could tell they sat here for a long time just sifting through this, because this record is like what, nine songs, 42 minutes, tight and punching the entire time.
That's great.
It's like, it's fire. Yeah.
I'll check it out. I like
Rio
Duran
by
Duran.
Duran Duran. Just go straight through it. It's
Well,
like nice to just go from front to back.
That's
and
how
just
I
be
listen to
like,
stuff.
right? It's
I
like,
don't shuffle. I don't listen.
You can't
I don't,
shuffle at first. The sequence does matter.
No,
at
I never.
first.
I when people have their
then
whole.
I shuffle after, but
No,
at
I
first
never
shuffle.
Well,
You never shuffle.
I listen to whole albums. The only
yeah.
album that I ever shuffle is Nonagon Infinity by King Gizzard, because they wrote the songs so that it could be shuffled and sequenced in any way, and they still all fit together. It's really
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
cool. So for my recommendation, I am going to recommend The Chair Company, which is the new Tim Robinson show that's on HBO Max.
Nice. Shout out Tim.
it's great. It's very funny. It feels a lot like Friendship, the movie that I recommended a couple months ago. It's basically this guy works for a company and he has a moment where like his chair breaks. And he like looks into the manufacturer of the chair, and it's this conspiracy that threatens to like throw his life into upheaval. And then you think that he's finally like given it up, and then the conspiracy reaches out and pulls him back in. It's really hard to watch because it's Tim Robinson, so it's very cringe.
Of course.
But so we're watching it really slowly, but I like it a lot. So Duran Duran Rio,
yes,
and The Chair Company, and come back next week when we're going to discuss. Oh man, I just said it. I said it already.
Was it the Conspiracy?
Yeah, Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Which is an oft-maligned, like I said, an oft-maligned episode. We're going to get into it.
I actually liked it.
I'm going to like it a lot. I remember it very well. I'm stoked.
Word.
So thank you so much for listening. Come on back next week, gang.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
143. Trek in the Valley is brought to you by Adam Ordall-Quinnell and Al Hirt. The theme was produced by Al. The episodes are engineered by Adam. You can email the podcast at trekinthevalley@gmail.com, or you can search for us on Bluesky and Facebook as Trek in the Valley and follow us over there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And never forget, always explore strange new fucking worlds.